25-year-old Rachna gave birth to a child on Thursday, but not in the hospital. When she reached a hospital, a government hospital in Madhya Pradesh's Vidisha, the government hospital was closed. It was locked. She was in the last stage of labor. Her child was born inside the ambulance. She was forced to deliver inside the ambulance. No doctors, no nurses around. This happened 25 kilometers away from the nearest city. We still don't know why the hospital was closed. It was 10 in the night. Madhya Pradesh has a new chief minister, sworn in on the 13th of December. His cabinet took oath just about, say, 3 days ago. But there is no home minister appointed yet. The earlier chief minister was a BJP stalwart, Shivraj Singh Chauhan. And incidentally, his constituency is part of Vidisha as well. We ask, when will crucial healthcare access for women be India's focus? Sadly, access to medical care for women isn't just one state's problem or just a rural problem. And before we get into this, let's listen to this medical official's response from Vidisha.
उदयपुरा में स्टाफ एक है वहाँ पर, उसके कारण से हालांकि डिलीवरी पॉइंट है और एक आयुर्वेदिक डॉक्टर है, तो ये लोग 12 घंटे दिन में काम कर लेते हैं, तो रात में वहाँ पर हो सकता है अपने घर में हो या कहीं हो, इधर उधर हो, तो इस तरीके की प्रॉब्लम वास्तव में बहुत गलत है, ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए। मैं आज ही त्योंदा से किसी न किसी स्टाफ नर्स को, जिसका घर उदयपुरा के आसपास का ही होगा, अभी पता लगाता हूँ। वहाँ पर 6 स्टाफ नर्सेस हैं, उसमें से किसी एक को अभी आज शाम से पहले मैं वहाँ पर पदस्थ कर दूंगा। भविष्य में इस प्रकार की समस्या कभी ना आए।
Well, the official is saying before tonight he will get to what the real cause for the hospital being closed was. But really that is just a case-specific detail. The National Family and Health Survey 5 has shocking stats that 60% women in India face trouble in accessing healthcare in India. So this clearly is even beyond a rural-urban divide, though the weight of this will be evident in which direction. And I'm being joined right now by my colleague Govind. Govind, it's a shocking story. It's just medical negligence, perhaps. Tell us what really happened. Do we know why was the hospital closed?
Yeah, it's quite disgusting. In fact, on the name of government in Madhya Pradesh have been claiming for the better treatment and better medical facilities, but this is what reality is being exposed in district Vidisha, where in Udaipur Samudayak Kendra, in fact, where a lady was just wearing the labor pen for hours and waiting for opening that gate of the hospital. But you know that how the picture is coming from that, and it's quite disgusting, quite shocking and surprising one that this is what the reality of the health arrangements here in Madhya Pradesh. And this is only an example from Vidisha district, where in Udaipur at around 10 o'clock the ambulance driver got there with this lady. In fact, lady was with her husband and mother-in-law, but they kept waiting for hours, and after that it was quite risky to delivery inside the ambulance. So who is all responsible for it, and whom should we respond to get the response on this medical apathy? Because Health Minister yet not decided here in Madhya Pradesh, even after the formation of the new government, and CMH is saying that he will just make the proper arrangement there, but this is too late. In fact, anything could happen with this, but fortunately the women is safe and
Right. Thank you very much, Govind, for those details. Look at those visuals. You can actually see who seems to be perhaps the mother-in-law, because this pregnant woman at that time, Rachna, a 25-year-old woman, was actually accompanied by her husband and her mother-in-law. And this seems to be the mother-in-law because nobody else in the hospital was available. The hospital was closed. This is absolutely unacceptable. I'm being joined right now by R.S. Pathania, who's a spokesperson for BJP, Dr. Pooja Tripathii, who's a spokesperson for Congress, as well as Brinda Adige, who's an activist. Well, for all known reasons, R.S. Pathania, why don't you just start with your opening remarks?
Yes, Madam, first of all, thanks to you and thanks to Mirror Now for flagging a very, very important issue, an issue that entwines around the provision of basic facilities, human healthcare to everybody, and particularly maternity healthcare to each and every pregnant woman. This is the resolve of the Modi Sarkar. This has happened. Let us assume. I am not saying that this story is true. I am also not saying that this story is untrue. So the concerned health officials, they have reached out to Mirror Now. By evening, they have promised the things will be fixed. I have no qualms in saying that inquiry should be done, responsibility should be fixed, and remedial measures should be. Though the aspect remains that Madhya Pradesh has shown gigantic leaps with regard to revolutionizing its health sector, setting up of umpteen number of medical colleges, only 38 in Madhya Pradesh, 12,000 crore budget for Madhya Pradesh, and a slew of central government sponsored and state government sponsored policies and programs.
What's the use? देखिए ना, आपके सामने visuals हैं. What is the use?
I'm alive to that, madam. I'm alive to my take remains. Let the incident be an inquired threadbare. Let a responsibility be fixed, and let a holistic arrangement be put in place to ensure that such incidents do not happen in future. And no comes in saying this is a shame on humanity and the medical services. First of all, it needs to be seen. First of all, that was a 24/7 hospitals. Our hospitals are not having 24/7 services. Number two, was there any facility for maternity health care?
Mr. Pathania, these are just opening remarks. Let me get in other people as well. I will get back to you, sir. There are a lot of unanswered questions that you will have to answer. Dr. Pooja Tripathii.
Sneha, this angers me as a doctor. Forget being Congress spokesperson. This angers me as a doctor that we are nearing 2024 in just 2-3 days, and a woman delivers in an ambulance. And thankfully, she's okay. She may have perinatal asphyxia. She may have pregnancy-induced hypertension. She may require a cesarean delivery. She may require a shoulder dystocia. But no, none of the doctor was available. And I'm very glad that this woman had a normal labor that could be progressed and she's safe now. We look at MP. I have three very distressing pictures from MP, which I would like to show here. This woman was lucky enough to be saved, but these are 3 pictures from MP, where a 4-year-old girl from Chhatarpur, Bakswaha, died because she was referred from Chhatarpur district, and there was no specialist at Chhatarpur. She died when she reached Bhopal, and her grandfather had to wrap her dead body in a quilt and take a bus. When people raised hue and cry in bus, her father had to take her to 25 kilometers because the government facility could not arrange an hearsay. And same here, a pregnant woman dies on Charpai, and she had to be taken because there was no ambulance available and there was no bus available.
Your point is taken. I understand your point.
So I am saying this is
okay. I understand your point. You're trying to say that
this is Vidisha, which is the Lok Sabha seat of the previous Chief Minister, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. And if we take Sihor, if we take Budni, if we take Ashta, if we take Katihar, then there are 642
I get your point, ma'am. Let me just move on to Brinda Adige. I will get back to you. Ms. Brinda Adige, the truth remains it's 2023. Governments after governments at the center, at the state have been claiming that women and children are the heart of their governance. Women and the youth are an unprecedented vote share in this country. They are a huge force. They are changing governments. They are very decisive. The collective vote of theirs matters so much to governments that they are trying to get them to vote for them with freebies, with mixies, and whatnots, with laptops, all kinds of things. But how much of this really reaches on the ground, whether it be rural or urban? Because as I said, NFHS doesn't paint a very clear picture. It says 60% women have problem in accessing healthcare at different levels, of course. But 60% can't only be rural.
You're absolutely right. And all the points that you pointed out are true. When the government claims its watchword, its bylines are women and young people, we do not see that kind of regard, dignity, or respect extended to women. And look at this particular case. The ambulance has been dispatched and the ambulance has brought this woman, but the government hospital is closed. Imagine the audacity that the hospital is closed, a government hospital and a police station are two institutions that never shut, can never shut. But the fact that they have been shut shows the impunity of all the duty bearers and the functionaries in that hospital, because they have been doing this again and again and nobody has pulled them up. This is not simply negligence. It is criminal negligence by the medical officials over there. Whatever the BJP spokesperson said, it may have happened, not have happened. That's not the way you speak. When you are targeting and asking for votes from women and first-time young voters, you should be showing some respect to them. You could have apologized for something that has happened over there. Investigation will come later and give you another story. But you apologize and say that you will take matter so seriously that something like this will never happen again. Can you say that on this show just now? Something like this, a criminal medical negligence, will not happen to another woman, child, or a citizen in Madhya Pradesh. Because only then you are instilling confidence in your voters.
Pathania, would you
continues.
respond to that? Because frankly, this is not just the only case. And I don't really want to make this a story about Madhya Pradesh, because state after states have shown this kind of an issue across governments. And the lack of medical health care is something that has been spoken about, researched, and reports have come in government as well as private sector about how difficult access is. But Mr. Pathania, to start with, this is not just one isolated case. I understand you spoke about how this should never have happened and you will take all actions. The medical officer will look into it. But the fact remains, Mr. Pathania, health doesn't seem to be a priority at this stage. COVID, another wave of COVID seems to be up. You have a pregnant woman, this particular incident. There have been other instances also in the past in Madhya Pradesh alone. But you don't even have a health minister who's been appointed till now, sir.
So, madam, very true. The government has just taken off. The chief minister has taken the full expansion of the cabinet has not happened in Madhya Pradesh. That is one part of the affair. But let me be very frank and very forthright. We should not and we would not try to escape the responsibility of being alive to the expectations and the needs of the people, and especially of those females who are about to procreate, who are about to forebear children. So this is a very, very serious issue. Let it be inquired into threadbare. I am very, from being a Bimaru state, Madhya Pradesh has shown gigantic leaps with regard to revolutionizing the health sector, maybe telemedicine, maybe Mukhyamantri Bal Hriday Upchar Yojana, Shravan Upchar Yojana, maybe SVP, maybe MP Oshadi. Also, there have been a slew of government initiatives and achievements. But this incident holds out as a big eye opener, and not only to Madhya Pradesh, let it be across pan India. Once we are planning,
it's unfortunately not the only incident really that has happened. Just recently, I think in November, you had another incident where a woman delivered because there was no hospital access available. Just about few days back, there was another instance where in Shivpuri, a woman delivered a baby out in the open. So these don't seem to be, one-off cases really.
This is happening, madam. May it be a BJP ruled state or an opposition ruled state, these things are happening. I am not going into tutu mema like war of words onto it. I am very
But you are at the center, you are at some states. Madhya Pradesh is a big BJP bastion, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
You boast of a rich political heritage.
Yes.
Rich political heritage, sir. I mean, you're not it's not an alternating state also. Once it is BJP, once it is Congress. It's a massive BJP forte.
That's what I have said, madam, that we have taken, rather Madhya Pradesh has taken new lofty strides in the field of revolutionizing its health sector. But this incident holds out serious questions. It holds out serious question marks. And what I am submitting, very, very humbly submitting, that once we are planning a Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047, so we need to upgrade, we need to uplift, we need to change our styles with regard to not only increasing budget allocations, but with regard to new state of approach, with regard to foolproof and such
I
foolproof
hope the center
the
does
system.
that. I
Such
hope the
incidents
Madhya
should not
Pradesh
happen.
state
This
starts with
incident
that.
should
Let's
not
start.
happen.
I mean, the truth remains, sir, it's been almost 24 hours since this incident. I mean, it's going to be almost 20. This happened around 10 in the night last time. It's almost going to be 24 hours. We still don't know why was that hospital shut. The medical officials still have not come out with why this really happened. But let me come back to you, Miss Brinda Adige. Just try and explain this to us. How this is not one party problem. How this is not one state problem. We are bringing this to the forefront right now because Vidisha happened. What happened in Vidisha? But is this really just a Madhya Pradesh problem? Or
Certainly
just a
not.
rural
It's
problem?
not just a Madhya Pradesh problem. It is an issue that we can see across states, across India. Now, when you ask a question why, first and foremost, women in this patriarchal society, no matter what political parties brandish as their bylines, are not given the importance that they must be. Reproductive health and health of women is also not given the same importance. Look at the kind of budgeting that has been done. It might sound a lot of crores, but when it comes down to brass tacks, you and I know that it is paisas that is going out to a individual citizen as a woman. So it is time, for the governments to address the issue of health, especially reproductive health of women, seriously. After all, the babies born are our citizens, our future citizens. They are the ones who are going to make India shining. If that is not the support that we are giving to women today, then we know that the politicians are lying through their teeth when they say that they are concerned about women and young people. Secondly, we also must also look
In
at
fact,
this
just
whole
to substantiate,
issue where
quickly, ma'am.
Health has become a very, very commercial issue. So the government hospital is not functioning. You are expecting and forcing the citizens to go to private hospitals where they will then die because of debt. So it is so important for the government to put the money where their mouth is. Address the issue of health and women and young people, babies, because maternal health as well as
especially
child
when
mortality has not
India
come down.
today
So
is trying to look to become a global player literally in the healthcare sector. But just to substantiate what you're saying, my team has dug in some data from the NFHS survey. That's the latest survey that we have, and it says only 10.1% women take independent decisions about their healthcare. And only 51.6% of women are allowed to go alone to a health facility. This is the India really that we are talking about. And this is tragic beyond words. Why don't you just come in at this point and just explain to us how different could this be in your ruled states? Pooja Tripathii, it's happened in Vidisha. Last 30 seconds, last word. Is it any different in the rural parts of of states that are governed by you?
Sneha, let me tell you, investing in states and this kind of figures, if we look at Madhya Pradesh, it's a factor of misplaced priorities. Madhya Pradesh boasts of the highest infant mortality rate in India at 35 per thousand live birth, highest under 5 mortality at 45 per thousand live births, third highest maternal mortality at 173 per live birth. 18 years of BJP rules and it boasts of highest malnourished children. Only in first quarter of 2023, it was 78,000.
All right.
And districts like
you've made the allegations. Last word to you, Mr.
I want to add here.
Last word to you, Mr. Pathania, because she's made allegations. Yeah.
No, Sneha, let me
Madam,
speak.
not at all joining the issue with any of the learned panelists. I have requested them, let the truth come out, and all the facts and figures. We take it as a challenge for the new Bharatiya Janata Party Sarkar in Madhya Pradesh. We will pick up the gauntlet, we will meet the challenge, and we will make the things happen. Virtually, you will see there will be a more gradual and a greater increase in the health services in Madhya Pradesh. Let us be assured this is not a Madhya Pradesh centric problem. It's happening in each and every state. Let us all join our hands, put our heads together, and let's go for a better, for a healthy, for a cleaner, and
for a more sanitized.
True, but let's
health
just
services
end with
to
this,
each and
that
everybody.
this has happened in Vidisha recently, and Vidisha is not one-off case in Madhya Pradesh. BJP has
That's
a
it.
huge legacy in
Yes.
Madhya Pradesh, and this is not just one-off case that has happened. There have been precedents of similar cases in Madhya Pradesh as well, but the fact also remains this is a story of rest of India as well, and so
That's
much
it.
of
That's it.
focus needs to come in from the center as well as the
Absolutely.
state governments to be able to bring this, to bridge this gap. If you can come to women asking them for votes, give them freebies during elections, you can definitely
Absolutely.
ensure that they get the basic essential healthcare 24/7 for the rest of the years. Thank you very much, ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, for
Thank you.
joining us in this discussion. Thank you very much for your time.